Hey guys, Grand Rising. So today I just want to come on here and talk about the fact that you have to start where you are. Wherever you are currently in your life is where you are. For example, I am on a journey of creating these videos now, and my camera might not be the same quality as someone else's camera. I'm not an editor. I don't be editing stuff like that. Like, I'm an artist, yes, but it doesn't bring me joy to edit videos. I'm just going to be quite frank. It's just something that I can do, but I don't like doing it. And so for a while, that has honestly, made me feel like my it would make me feel bad about my content creation because like I wasn't, or I'm not currently even where some channels that I watch are in terms of viewers, in terms of subscribers, in terms of the level of content. But I am choosing to do what I have with a brand new slate, because ultimately you don't have to create the same way other people do. There are people like myself. I will watch most of the content that I consume on like YouTube, to be quite frank, are lecture type videos like a Shira Goddess or Shira 7, either one of her channels, to be quite frank with you. Okay, either one. But or like Billy Carson and Forbidden Knowledge, or Brother Panic, who has since moved on, and like, or Reverend Ike, because or Florence Scovel Shin, or what's that? I think his name is like Wallace Waddles, or Toak, something like that. I do listen to lectures. I listen to people who just sit there and talk for hours and hours upon hours, or who just sit there and talk for like 10 minutes or however long they feel like speaking, with no editing, no other stuff. So why would I think that I'm not as capable as those people? Some of their video camera quality is what it is, but they're still putting the stuff out there because because of whatever reason. So it's like, who am I to stop myself? Who are you to get in your own way? And that's like the point of this conversation right now, is because who really is in your way of between you and what you want to do in this world? And a lot of us do have a level of, like, I don't want to say like self-sabotage, but a level of insecurity because of how we feel like we've been judged in the past. So it's like certain judgments hurt and certain judgments don't feel good, and so then we can avoid this level of pain if we just don't even do it. If we don't even try, we can't fail at it. If we try really hard and make it really complicated and try to make it really perfect, then it's hard to sustain. Because for the YouTube, for example, there are so many channels that are like sponsored. They have sponsors. They have subscribers that pay. They have companies behind them creating this content. And here I am. Here you are with your single device plugged in and going. And so there's no comparison. And even if like you edit, like, everyone has different things that they're doing. So the point is, like, you are where you are. If you do not start whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to be there later. Wherever you are is exactly where you are. You're not going to change that in the immediate. So you have to use whatever tools you currently have to get to the next spot. Because I guarantee you that somewhere down that line, there was an original one person who was creating their content with their device plugged in. There is someone doing exactly what you want to do from where you currently are, and they managed to get it done. So it has to be possible. Now, there might be other ways of doing it. Perhaps what we've learned along this way is not the way to get to where we want to be. perhaps there's something more to this. Perhaps there are other ways of operating in this reality that will result in results. Because let me tell you something right now. Learning to manifest is basically a scam, from what I've been understanding, because we are consistently manifesting. Learning how to manifest what you want and what you desire is a skill, but manifesting is a basic principle of law, of universal law. There's one thing, like I said before, there's one thing to learning how to manifest correctly, but you're doing it regardless if you know how to do it properly or not. That's another conversation for another day. But the point is, we have more capability and more power than we think we do. We're stronger than we think we are. We're more capable. And the proof is just in the darn pudding. How many things that you actually put your mind to in the way you wanted to do it, and it worked. But then we were in this space that we're in, and then there were people around you, likely people close to you, perhaps relatives, perhaps other people in your school, perhaps people in around you, your neighbors, whoever. There are people around you that told you otherwise, that told you, oh, no, this isn't good because you don't have the proper camera. This isn't good because you're ghetto. The way you speak is ghetto. This isn't good because you don't have a lot of followers. That's why there are people who will systematically point out every single little flaw until the point where you start doubting it, and then you want to change it because you're seeking their approval. Because somewhere you're looking for acceptance. And I understand, because I am recovering, okay? I am healing from that stuff, okay? Or I have recovered. But I feel like you're always on a journey towards healing and becoming a better, best version of yourself. And that's what I'm doing actively. And I can admit that there are times where I slip back. Because we have to remember, we're learning how to be a certain way. If you've never been a way before, you're learning how to be it. And if you are learning how to be something, you are evolving. And so that's the point. Like, you are where you are until you learn to be something else. That's the fact. That's what's happening here. A lot of us have learned to be a certain way because of what we were taught and what we ingested, and possibly the pains and trauma that you experienced or that we experienced along that way. Because there's no way to exist in this realm without a level of trauma. As it used to be. Because what I have observed is the further back in generations you go, the more traumatic the experience and the harsher the being. The harsher that person's typical accession of reality is. The more you experience, I guess, the more you experience. But at the same time, there are other situations where people had experiences and completely changed their life. There are beings like that. There are those stories. And what makes you different from where they were when they first started? And if they weren't where you were, somebody was. There has to be somebody that started out where you are, or worse, that something worked out. So there has to be a reason for that. And that's what we have to get past, feeling upset and feel offended, feel it, and then have the cojones to continue anyway. Feel how you want to feel, baby, but then keep going. Don't allow your feeling of feeling upset take you off your path and off your course. Don't let your feeling of feeling like, oh man, I can't believe this thing happened, and I have this kind of content, or my kitchen doesn't look the same as someone else's kitchen, so I can't film my videos. If TikTok has taught us anything, it's that, a lot of people just are where they are, and they're doing stuff anyway. So not even just with creating content, that's like an example, but even in terms of living your life, in terms of being happy, in terms of, experiencing new things, because you're never anywhere other than where you are right now. Even if you astral travel and you visit another plane, you are there right now. You are where you are. Wherever you are, that's where you are. You're not somewhere else. Where you are is where you are. So where you are is where you need to start. And where you are is where you need to plan from. Not, oh, when I have $50 more, I'm going to do this thing. Because you might not get to that point. This might be it. This might be it for you. So where are you right now? Plan from there. Because what can happen is they say, plan for the future. You're not in the effing future yet. You're right here. So what can you do right here, right now, that will help you move to where you want to be, which is the next step. But planning for the future is nothing if you don't plan for the present. Because if your goal is, oh, I'm going to get a new car, well, okay, when? By what means? What can you do right now? Right now, maybe you can look up how to buy a car. Because if you want a car and you don't know how to purchase a car, how are you going to buy a car? You could go say, you could have all the money in your bank account somewhere, and you could stand on the side of the road and just keep saying, I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy a car. If you don't ever go to the car dealership, if you don't ever look up that car online, however if you don't purchase the car, you're not going to have a car. So the plan is not to have a car. The plan is to purchase a type of car. The plan is to purchase this. Okay, now that you're going to purchase this type of car, or you're going to get this type of car, whatever it is, you want this type of car. How do you want it? Because you could get it and buy it driving right by you. That's what happens to me all the freaking time. You could get it, buy it, literally driving, and you got it. You got it. You got to experience that in your reality. If all you wanted was to get a car, you got to experience the car. You want a Mercedes, you got to experience the Mercedes. You got it. But was it how you wanted it? It's not just about what it looks like. It's about what experience do you want to have with that? You might say, oh, I want a bunch of money. And then you go work at a place that has a bunch of money. You got the money. You got to experience a lot of money. But how did you want to experience? Did you want to just get it? You just wanted money, and so it appeared. But did it come to you? So, to me, that's what being specific is. That's what's being specific. If you say, I want to own a Mercedes and not have a car note and blah, 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 blah. That's different than, oh, I want a Mercedes. Because a Mercedes is going to drive right past you. Oh, you got your Mercedes, but it wasn't yours. It didn't say exactly what you wanted. So, to me, that's a missing link in this conversation. You know that you want a house. Okay, well, you get to experience houses all the time. Everywhere you look, there's another house. You get to experience houses. Do you want to own? Do you want to live in? Do you want to rent? What do you want to do with the house? It's not enough to want the house. What do you want to do with the house? What do you want to do in the house? How many rooms do you want to decorate in the house? Maybe write it down. Maybe write it down. Maybe write it down. Whoops. So there's a level of specificity there that we have to consider. And that's why I say, like, be where you are. Because wherever you are is not bad. It's just where you are. And where do you want to be? And you have to be specific in that regard. And then if you choose to, you can go in, oh, I want the black, blah, 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 blah. But to me, I don't think you have to be specific about that unless you choose to be. But you can say that, I want to own or I want to live in, I want to live in a compound. I want to live at a family compound with multiple dwellings for everyone I love and cherish to have a place to call home whenever they feel like it. On that family compound, there should be animals. It should be a self-sustaining compound, okay? Because now we're getting there. We're not saying that we want the compound we're not there yet because we don't know that part yet. So we're creating where we are. We're creating the idea. So now we went from, I don't know what the heck I want. I just want a new house to, okay, now I want a compound. Oh, wait. Now I want a compound for all the people that I love and cherish to have a place to call home. Then we move even deeper. Oh, it's a self-sustaining compound. A compound where there's a body of water. Oh, not just a body of water, a clean and purified body of water that can be bathed in. Oh, and then a source of water that can be our drinking water that's clean, a clean drinking water source. Oh, that doesn't flood, okay? That's far enough from the property and the dwelling so that there's no flooding that occurs, or if it does flood, it doesn't reach the properties. Oh, we might not be able to do that. Okay, well, or that's what I want, and that's what I want. Or perhaps let's have an elevated portion, and I want the properties, the dwellings, the living quarters, or the community spaces to be high on the hill while the water is further down, far away, We want, and on this property, there'll be monolithic domes, or there'll be tiny homes. There'll be hobbit holes. It'll look like a little town. And when you walk on, and you see, that feels good because we're building on something. But we started from what the baseline is of what we want. And so now you know what you want. You also look for signs of how to get there. And after you finish that, if you think, you know what, maybe I should start that YouTube channel. Maybe I should start that store. And then it becomes, oh no, well, I can't do that yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. No. I can't do that. Then you basically you threw away the creation you just made, because all creation starts somewhere. Even I'm a painter. I'll show you guys some of my art. I paint, and I do graphic designs. I'm an artist, okay? And 9 times out of 10, I usually, especially my stuff that I hand paint, I usually absolutely hate. I absolutely hate the pieces that I start. And I'll be like looking at them, I'll be like, ooh, what is this? But I always know that once it's done, I love it. Like every single thing that's my last completed artwork piece is my most favorite completed artwork piece. And then I get a new one, I finish another one, and then that's my most favorite one. But then when I look back at the one that I already created, it's still my most favorite one. They're all my most favorite ones. But the point is that when I first started, a lot of times I'm looking at it like, this is what you came out of? Like, where are we going with this? Because I never know, but I know it's beautiful. So, but you have to start somewhere. And so once again, wherever you are right now, you can't change that. It's where you are. So what's the next step to get to that, to where you want to be? Where's the next step to get to that compound? Because now when you say the compound, it means a lot more. When I say it and you hear it, it means a lot more, because now we've envisioned what the compound was. Before, it was just a compound. And maybe don't write it down. Do what feels right to you. Maybe don't write it down. Maybe just keep speaking it out. So anyway, but now when I say compound, we're automatically envisioning a place for your family to cherish. It's like it's been enchanted. It's been charged because we gave it a meaning. Compound. Now we know what it is. So every time we hear compound, we're going to hear, oh, compound. And then when we hear family, we're going to hear, ooh, family. It's going to remind us of that. And if that's what you want, that's what you want. And now how you get there is revealed. How you get to that next spot is when you start feeling like, oh, I really should do this thing. I really should, and it starts pop, 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 like moving in your mind. That's a sign that, okay, you said you wanted this thing. Now let's do it. Let's go there. Let's move. Let's do this thing. That's how you get there. And so, yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. Okay. If you leave a comment, I will read it. If you subscribe, I will appreciate it. And if you like this video, I will be, thankful. Okay.